Coming up next on Access Central TV, a new music video by Fleza, Doza, and Kabalah Syringe appears at CB's gallery. Also, stick around for the ranch hand.
We also have a Volkswagen convention. Check out the vintage Volkswagens. And live at Roseland, we have Back to Back. And we also have Kittyhawk at Rockville Center, Long Island.
All this and more on Access Central TV. Welcome to another episode of Access Central TV. I'm your host, Robin Hackett.
And I am Mikkel.
Hey, Mikkel.
Hey, what's
up? Going on? I see you got a lady with you.
Yeah, this is...
this is our friend Eula.
Eula.
Yay. Yeah. We are in Farmingdale, Long Island, on Main Street, wonderful Main Street, and we're at a nice little shop called Warm Welcome. And they let us use Eula here, who's just going to visit us for the show today.
Yes.
So, Mikkel, I heard that you were in a show last night. It opened last night.
Yeah, I opened in a show down on the Lower East Side at the Theater for the New City, and it's called...
What's the show called?
It's called Collapsing Universe. It's a workshop. It's a rock musical. It's about the environment.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, I hope to come down there.
I hope you come too.
I will come.
I hope you come too, Andy.
Yeah, everybody come down. But right now, we're going to have a music video by a band called Fleza, Doza.
I know I tend to mind. Don't wanna face the realization. Can't stop and see your words follow you like water. Keep pulling me under, sinking me farther. Keep pulling me under, sinking me farther. And floating endlessly, it brings me to self-deceit. When will it stop?
Hey, that was Fleza Doza.
Now we have Kabalah Syringe.
Yeah, what's that mean? Don't ask, right?
Don't ask. Here it
Okay.
is.
I'll try it again. I need some water. I'm gonna bottle water.
with that fabulous harmonica player.
Yeah, was he part of the band?
I don't know. He was having a good time on his own, though.
Well, that's good, as long as he was having a good time.
What do you think, Eula?
I don't think Eula thinks that much.
I don't think
she kind of
does
just
either.
sits here.
No. So after this break, stay tuned. We have the Volkswagen convention.
Following the tragic events of September 11th, there have been hundreds of violent attacks against innocent Americans.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
Remember, please stop the hate.
We're stronger when we are united.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
One nation under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty
And justice.
For all.
In America, there's either room for everyone, or it's not America. Don't pick the wrong fight.
Let's keep America land of the free.
Stop the hate.
We are back.
Yes, we're back.
Access Central TV rocks. Right, Eula?
Yeah, man.
Anyways, we're going to the Volkswagen convention, and Robin, actually, you were there interviewing.
I was at that convention, yes.
Volkswagen was my first car.
You're kidding?
Yeah, I had like a 1970 Volkswagen with the sunroof that you had to crank.
Was it
to
the
open.
Beetle?
It was a Bug.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
And it was a semi-automatic.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had one. It's like my dream car to have. Isn't that silly that your dream car is a Volkswagen,
It's a Volkswagen.
Beetle?
Well, you know, everyone loves a car. Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes, whatever. Right, Eula? What do you drive?
I drive a Mercedes.
Okay. Here's Robin at the Volkswagen convention.
Hi, this is Robin Hackett with Access Central TV, and today we're in Long Island, and we're here at the first annual Volkswagen convention. And we're going to see some old Volkswagens, some new ones, some strange ones. We saw a Herbie one out front. So join us and come along and see what we come up with. Hi, we're standing here with Jose with his, what year is this Volkswagen?
1964.
1964?
Yes.
And how long have you had it?
It's 4 years ago. Yes.
Okay. And did you get it in the condition that it's in now, or did you have to work?
I have to work. This I have to. I had 1 year work in the car before it's done.
Okay. And what kind of things did you have to do to get it in the condition that it's in now?
It's a lot of work. That's all. A lot of work.
I'm standing here with Glenn, who's leaning against his beautiful Volkswagen. Tell me a little bit how you got interested in Volkswagens.
When I came home from the hospital when I was born, my father took me home in a 1955 Volkswagen Beetle.
Wow.
So since then, I've always wanted one.
Okay. And how did you acquire this particular Volkswagen?
I flew to California about 10 years ago, and they had a Volkswagen show, and this was for sale, so I bought it in stock condition.
Okay, and how long ago was that?
That was 1992.
All right. And what do you mean when you say stock condition?
The way it was originally built, it was not modified at all. It was an original Volkswagen.
Oh, okay.
And I modified it.
Oh, great. Now, what kind of modifications did you do to it?
Well, I put another engine in. I built an engine, put the engine in, and the tires are new, and the side view mirrors, and there's a console and a stereo inside. Basically, that's what I did to it.
Okay. And do you, when people have these cars, I mean, I know that you're here for a show today, but do you also drive this around, or do you just mostly have it for a show?
Good question. A lot of these people don't drive them normally. They keep them in garages, but I drive this, as long as it's not raining or snowing, I drive the car.
Okay. And how long would you possibly, would a car like this last? Like, could this last for another 20 years or something like that?
If you have the money to fix it, you can last the rest of your life.
Really? Okay, so it's really a very expensive thing once you get into...
Well, it's cheap to fix, but things go wrong. As long as you have the money to repair it, it could keep going forever, I assume.
Okay. And do you also go to other Volkswagen conventions?
Yes, I go to about 3 a year during the summer. There are a couple in Connecticut, and there's some in New Jersey.
Okay. Do you just come for the enjoyment of it and meeting people, or...?
Yeah, usually they have vendors down there, and I usually buy some things that they sell. And I enjoy looking at the other cars and comparing.
Okay.
See what I have to do next.
All right. Glenn, thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, we're here with Rich, and Rich has this beautiful red Volkswagen Beetle. I think the Beetles are my favorite.
Mine too.
So tell me, what year is this particular Beetle?
1970. It's got the old style 6-volt fenders on it with the glass covers on them.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a little modified. Not too much yet.
All right.
It's still a work in progress.
And how long have you had it?
2 years.
2 years?
I got it off the original owner. It was, she drove it to school every day. She worked in the school like 2 miles up and down the block every day since it was new.
They drove it to school?
Yeah, she worked in the school.
Oh, okay.
She had it forever.
All right, all right. And is this its original color?
No, this is it's Dodge Viper red. It's a lot brighter than the other reds.
All right. And what was the original color on this one?
You can see in the door there. I didn't spray the doors.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
That's next on the list.
Hi, once again, we're here with Lee, and Lee has a phenomenal Volkswagen that I just love. You know what I wanted to find out? I'm walking around here talking to different people. When was the first Volkswagen put out?
In 1937. 1937, yeah, just before the war started. 3 years before the war in 1940.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was the first year the Volkswagen came out.
Okay. And was that a Volkswagen Beetle, or was that a different kind of Volkswagen?
They didn't call it Beetle at the time, but it was a small sedan they were working on, and that's how it evolved to a Beetle.
Okay.
And then it got its name as a Beetle.
Okay. What I'd like to find out with your particular car, I mean, it's just so unique looking. Can you tell me a little bit about like some of the features that you have on here? And
my father owned the car originally. Brought it back when in the service in 1958. When he came back from overseas, he was in the Air Force. So he owned it originally, and then I picked the car up. It was passed on to me. It has a lot of accessories. It has a Judson supercharger, which is very rare. It doubled the horsepower of the car.
Okay.
And that's a very rare accessory on the car. It also has other accessories on it too. You know, it's the rack, the luggage rack, and the various gauges that were different at the time.
Okay.
And you know, the cars are enjoyable, a lot of fun. It doubles the horsepower of the car.
Right.
Makes it go a lot faster with that Judson on there, and they're very rare. You can't find those today.
Okay.
Very few Volkswagens have a Judson on them.
All right. Now, is it on top there? Is that the original rack, or is that one?
No, that's the original rack. That's on top. I've redone it a little bit, you know, to bring the wood back and refinish it, but that's the original rack on top.
All right.
And the luggage rack I had gotten later on.
Okay.
Also,
go ahead.
something very interesting. This little, I don't know if you can see that.
Want to get that, Andy?
But that little button right there, what happened was in 1937, people who worked in the Volkswagen factory were sent a letter. If they worked X number of hours and earned a number of stamps, they got a letter from the government, and they were given that little badge, and then they could have a car free if they worked enough hours in the factory.
Wow.
And that was in 1937.
How many hours do you think that was? Can you guess?
But it was a lot. It was a lot of hours.
All right.
And then they were given a car as a gift.
Okay.
So it was kind of a bonus.
Now, what year did you say this one was?
1958.
Okay. Wow. Fascinating. Lee, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Okay. Thanks for joining us once again at the first annual Long Island Volkswagen Convention. I had a really great time, and I hope that you did too. So if you're interested in Volkswagen, finding out more about them, you probably might want to attend one of these conventions. Thank you once again. I'm Robin Hackett for Access Central TV.
Wow, that was really interesting.
It was fun. That was a really fun day, and everybody really wanted to talk about their Volkswagen. So that's what made it fun.
What's this Herbie thing?
Herbie. Well,
What's
see,
a
now I
Herbie?
have to show my age. Gosh darn it. Herbie the Love Bug. It was a movie, like back in the day.
Oh, I remember it.
Do you
when I was
remember
in-
it?
Yeah, I think I was in kindergarten.
And this actor, Dean Jones, was in it. I think I was like, I don't know,
That
4 or
car-
5 or something. But
Beulah
no,
thinks you're funny.
Hey, Beulah, you should talk. You were probably in the Love Bug. Anyway.
Anyways, we have coming up after this break this boy band called Back to Back.
And they have a fascinating story, so stick around for that.
Next week on Access Central TV. It's the hilarious independent short film, Bananas in Bedlam. Director Jonathan O'Byrne's spoof documentary about what happened to Curious George after his childhood stardom.
Childhood played a trick on me, that's all. Just a big joke with me as the punchline.
You won't want to miss Bananas in Bedlam next week, only on Access Central TV.
As you can see, Mikal will just flirt with anyone, and Eula is like a little hussy herself. Look at the two of them. Anyway, enough about them. We just want to let you know about Back to Back, which we caught up with them at Roseland. And they were outside. They had a tour bus there, and they were signing autographs and having a great time. So here is Back to Back.
I miss him so much.
I know. Don't worry. They'll be home soon.
You've got email.
Don't you go walking out that door. Let me apologize. I know you're really hurting inside. I can see it in your eyes. You're saying too much of our time is spent apart. Yet I didn't realize that I was hurting your heart, girl. How could I be so blind? No, I didn't mean to make you cry. Let me be the one who will dry your eyes. I'll do all I can because I'm your man. What can I do to make it right? No, I didn't mean to make you cry. Let me be the one who will dry your eyes. I'll do all I can because I'm your man. What can I do to make it right? I want you to know that you're the most precious thing to me. I'm gonna do anything and everything I can to make you see. So won't you please, please tell me what can I do to make it up to you? Your wish is my command. So lady, won't you please take my hand? Oh, I didn't make you cry. Let me be the one who will dry your eyes. What can I do to make it right? I'll make it right. Oh, baby, let me be the one who will dry your eyes. I'll do all I can because I'm your man. What can I do to make it right? Work it out. Can we work it out? Can we work it out? Can we work it out tonight, baby? Can we work it out? Can we work it out? Can we work it out tonight, baby? Can we work it out? Can we work it out? Can we work it out tonight, baby? Can we work it out? Can we work it out? Can we work it out tonight? No, I didn't make you cry. Let me be the one who will dry your eyes. I'll do all I can because I'm your man. What can I do to make it right? Let me dry your eyes. You know, I didn't mean it, girl. I'll do all I can. I'll do all I can for you, baby. Tonight. Make you cry. Let me be the one who will dry your eyes. I'll do all I can. I'll do all I can for you, baby. I'll make it right. Make you cry. Let me be the one who will dry your eyes. I'll do all I can because I'm your man. What can I do to make it right?
As you can see, I'm basically doing the show by myself because Eula and Mikal are like off in their own little... Look at them, giggling and laughing. Oh my God. Anyway, that was great by Back to Back. Mikal had a chance to get on their tour bus. He probably flirted his way onto the tour bus too. Got onto the tour bus, and here's his interview with Back to Back, Steve and Michael.
my God, I'm on a tour bus. I am on a tour bus. I'm not a teenager, but I'm on a tour bus with Back to Back.
Hey, what's up, man?
This is Steve, this is Mike. So, this is their album. You can catch them on backtoback.online.com. So guys, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know Andy Hersman, our executive producer, briefed me a little bit, like you were separated. Mike, do you want to?
Sure. We were separated from about the 6th grade all the way to the 12th grade. He lived way across town, and we pretty much lived our lives by ourselves separately. He got into a little trouble. He came back after 19, and we realized that we both had the same interest in singing, and that's what reunited us.
Wow. So under what label are you?
Right now we're with Top Shelf Entertainment, Conscious 55 production company.
So where are you based out of?
We're actually based out of New Jersey because the guy that's funding this whole thing, he plays for the Boston Celtics. His name is Eric Williams, number 55.
What's up, Eric?
And we also got major distribution with WIA. But we're from San Diego.
San Diego, I'm from San Francisco. Hey. All right, yeah.
Let's go to what does he call it, the Sportsman's Wharf or something out there?
Fisherman's Wharf.
Fisherman's Wharf. Love it out there.
We're gonna hang out with the guys at Fisherman's Wharf, you all. So, is there anything you want to tell your fans or do you have a message?
Well, we just want to say that, unlike all the other groups that were put together, we were born together. And I'd like to add something to that. I just want to say that no matter the situation, whether it be negative or positive, as long as you believe in yourself and have faith, you can overachieve anything. If you can see it, you can achieve it. Back to Back did it, and so can you. What's up?
I have nothing else to say. Mikkel with Access Central TV.
As you can see, Eula has totally lost her mind, and she's so happy to be on the show that she is dancing. Eula, settle down, mama. Settle down. I can't even look at her. Anyway, that was a really great interview with Back to Back. They have a fascinating story. But you know what? Coming up after the break, we were able also to catch them live at Roseland. So stick around for that.
Next week on Access Central TV, it's the hilarious independent short film Bananas in Bedlam. Director Jonathan O'Byrne's spoof documentary about what happened to Curious George after his childhood stardom.
Childhood played a trick on me, that's all. Just a big joke with me as the punchline.
You won't want to miss Bananas in Bedlam next week, only on Access Central TV.
We're back again. Mikkel, what's the matter?
Eula was sold.
Oh my God. Well, thank goodness. Quite frankly, she was getting on my nerves anyway. She was distracting us.
I loved Eula.
You know what? There'll be other Eulas. Just relax. Come on, let's get back to. We got to get back to the show.
Okay, back to work.
All right.
So we're back to back.
We were back to back.
We were back to back.
They had there were thousands of fans there.
Yeah, Roseland.
Yeah. So they're back to back's doing really, really well.
And they were really nice guys. I mean, after the interview, we sat and chit chatted a little bit after the interview. So it's like. These kids are great.
Good luck back to back.
Yeah. So coming up after the break, we've got another Being Alive segment. So stay tuned.
Be with us.
That on the ground, huh? Oh my.
Each year, thousands are senselessly killed by people with no criminal record at all. People like you.
We are back. Back.
You're over Eula now, right?
Yeah, I'm over Eula now.
Okay.
Tell us about Being Alive again.
This segment of Being Alive, once again, was with Joseph and Michael. And we had a special guest, Allison, who came onto the show. And she's an actress. And they talked about, and I kind of relate to this. It's like you're waiting, you're in your life trying to make it, and you put everything else on hold. While you're trying to be successful, and all of life is still happening. So Allison's question was, why am I waiting to live?
So let's check it out, guys.
Welcome once again to Being Alive on the Upper West Side. We're at Bean Restaurant, and I'm Robin Hackett, your host for this evening. And once again, joining me for this segment will be Joseph, Michael, and today we have a special guest, someone who has a burning question about being alive, and Allison is joining us today. Allison, welcome to the show. What would you like to talk about today? What's your burning question about being alive?
Why am I waiting to live?
We talk about the different options. Lots of people wait. Some people wait because they're afraid. Some people wait because they don't feel worthy. Waiting is a way of thinking about living, right? Right? Either you think about living you're doing, or you think about living waiting, not doing. Some people are afraid of success, but some people are afraid of what will happen if they fail. Now, if you just looked at the prospect of failing, what would that be like?
Well, I'm not sure where I'd be after that. You know, a lot is writing. Well, let's take, for example, what I think one of my fears is to make it as an actor, and I'm not really sure what exactly it is that I would consider making it just yet. And so that becomes, okay, well, if I get to a point where I'm feeling like I'm not making it, I stop, and then it's like, okay, what else do I do now? This is all I've ever wanted to do. So if I fail, it's going to be really bad.
Exactly. The key is to just feel. Because, we go through life, not living maybe the way we want to, and there's a reason that holds us back. So we have to feel what it's like. Obviously there's an impression of something that's not so good. If it was good, you would do it.
Right.
So just if you can feel, right? Feel what it's like for your career, everything that you feel significant about to end. Feel that. What does that feel like? What does it feel like?
I don't want it to end. It hasn't even started.
Right. Okay. What if you came to terms with that? It failed. What would that feel like?
It'd be very sad.
Right. Exactly.
You're pretty lost.
Exactly. Now that's not like a little fear. It's not like that's not the fear of having your dinner 10 minutes late. That's like a big fear, right?
Right.
And you see, we have to see what is it that gets us out of bed, gives us a sense of significance of ourselves, right?
Right.
And we live on that. We live on that energy that we feel significant. I know I do. I'm sure, everyone in the audience might feel it. They feel that there's something significant that they're going to try to accomplish during the course of that day.
Right.
And if that was a rug and it was lifted out from under you, the implications are horrendous. So if you allow yourself to feel, and we don't ever want to even know that. That
you're saying to allow myself to feel the fear?
Right.
Yeah, but then that could just leave you stifled and motionless.
Let's get the assumptions out of the way. And then take a look at what you truly may think or feel that you're going to feel.
Well, if I fail at it, it means that I wasn't as talented as I believed I was. It could be very damaging to my ego. And I desperately would need to do something else creative in my life. That's my creative outlet. And if that's gone, then I'll just be doing my day-to-day to make a living, and I can't live like that.
There is a significance to our aspect of what we want to do in life, our aspect of creativity or our aspect of functionality. What is my function?
I'd like to be there, just doing this because I truly love to do it, because originally that's what it started to be. But then I also, I want to make a living at it, because I don't want to keep doing what I don't really want to do either. So that's when it becomes difficult. And the business of acting is really, really crappy.
What is the most important? Are you afraid of making less money, or are you afraid of not having a function? What would you say that it would be?
Well,
just to let you know that other people go through the same thing, and I'm not suggesting that you give it up. And I put my whole life on hold waiting for my career to happen, and then once my career happened, then I could live the rest of my life. And so what I've decided to do is to no longer do that anymore. I'm not going to wait anymore. I have tried to find a way to integrate my music into my life and live a life as well. So, and I'm only just saying this to you because I know for me it was painful. I just went, to the bottom, to the total bottom, and felt like if someone asked me, well, what do you do? I didn't know what I was going to say.
Well, that's part of it. You're identified with what you do, and I don't always want to be identified with what I do. You know what I mean? I mean, I love it and everything, but I want to meet you and I want to say hi and get to know you without going, so what do you do for a living? Or, what successes have you had in your life?
Would it be okay for you if someone asked you what you do for a living to say nothing? What would that feel like if you said nothing?
I've never tried that.
Let's try it right now. Try right now. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, so what do you do?
Nothing.
Wow, you sound interesting.
How does it feel?
That kind of felt empowering, because it's like, because you're expecting, somebody to say I do this or that, I am this or that, or...
It's not as bad as you thought. You just went there. You felt temporary and momentarily. You went into the nothingness. You said, I do nothing. And look what it gave you. Look at the freedom you felt. You're only free when you can go to either side. We want freedom for you if that's what you want for yourself. Yeah. So when we take you there, it's just so that you can free yourself. It's not to change any of your goals. Your goals can remain exactly the same. Right. You can continue your career. But wouldn't it be nice to continue your career with a sense of freedom and peace? And so that middle of the road is not working. So we can suggest other ways of traveling that might work a little bit better and give you this kind of sense of relief.
How's that feel?
Much better.
It makes sense to you?
It does make sense. It does make a lot of sense, you know? I know how to look at it differently.
So, Allison, thank you very much for joining us on the show and sharing yourself. Thank you very much. And I'm Robin Hackett, once again for being alive, signing off, and we'll see you again. Thank you. Wow, that was pretty intense.
Being alive.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I think she like had some kind of breakthrough. I mean, I definitely can relate to what she was going through, definitely. So,
thanks, Joseph and Michael, for doctoring that.
Yes.
So we have the Ranch Hands, and they're cowboys who do cowboy music.
Yeah. And they wear cowboy boots, too, and cowboy hats.
Yeah. So let's watch the Ranch Hands. Yeehaw.
Welcome once again to Access Central TV. I am Robin Hackett, and I am here this evening with the Ranch Hands. As you can see, I got my cowboy boots on.
Looking good.
So it's appropriate, right?
We all have our cowboy
Everyone,
boots
let me
on,
see your
actually.
cowboy boots. Wow, get this shot here. Groovy, groovy. So Ranch Hands, tell me about the Ranch Hands, who the Ranch Hands are, how they got started, where, when, and why.
Actually, the Ranch Hands started with Chris and I, and it's actually still Chris and I.
Okay.
But we're both kind of a songwriting team, and we put together a group, I guess around last year, and did some touring in Europe, and I've come back to kind of put together our first real full-blown CD.
Okay. All right. Actually, before we even get started, why don't you tell me who you are, your name, and so forth. And
I'm Chris.
And your last name? Do you want to?
Oh, you want last names too?
Yeah,
Ranch Hands aren't
Come
about
on, Chris.
formalities. Chris Tedesco.
Okay.
And I'm Jamie Garner.
And I'm Tim Beatty.
Hi, Tim. All
How
right.
you doing?
I'm good. So, we're here actually at a studio in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And
Excello.
Excello it's called. A little plug there. Plug.
No, it's a great place.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Cool,
It is.
cool. Tim, I love your cowboy hat.
It's Jamie's, but I'm gonna wear it back to New
I
York when I
see.
get on the
I
plane.
see.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm gonna wear it back to Nashville. Yes.
Okay. Actually, Tim is here from Nashville. He's up here, and he's the producer
Yes.
for the Ranch Hands.
But I just moved to Nashville like
Yeah.
the end of December. I've been here for 9 years in New York.
Oh,
doing
okay.
different things,
All
so
right, all right.
Fortunately, these guys asked me to help them out on their record. So.
Okay, and how did you guys hook up with Tim? How did that?
Tim and I grew up 10 miles from each other. A couple of cornfields split between us, and I saw Tim play for the first time about 10 years ago, and actually was inspired enough then to actually pick up the harmonica and take it seriously and really become a harp player. I had played since I was about 7 or 8 years old, but just kind of honking around. But I saw Tim play, and I knew right then that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a harp player, and as fortune would have it, I moved to New York City, found out Tim was out here, and I'm like, I've got to hook up with this guy. So I went out and like, hey man, can you give me a couple of lessons, And that's what I did, and I started playing with him and stealing as many licks as I could, and
cool.
And then,
And then I'm very honored to be working on their record.
Oh,
It's
that's
really,
great. That's
it's
really great.
it's a great thing.
Okay. How did the two of you hook up and start writing?
I was playing in kind of like the house band at a place called Denim and Diamonds, and it was a place that Jamie was DJing at, and it was a huge country music nightclub that was right in Midtown Manhattan.
Okay.
And kind of from there, kind of developed a friendship, and checked each other out, and started writing, and it really clicked quick. I remember the first day we wrote together. You get together, you write some stuff, and then you go home and you see what you bring to the table the next time. And we were amazed that next time we got together, there was just a song and a half finished. And One of them, well, I think one of our first real like combined efforts is going to be on this CD called "Everyone But You."
That's right.
Oh, okay.
One of the
All right.
first tunes we
All right.
wrote together.
How many years ago was that?
2?
That's 3 actually.
Maybe.
Yeah, 3.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, time does fly.
I know the last time that I spoke with Jamie, you guys were getting ready to go on tour. Were you involved in that as well? Was that in Europe or was that?
That was in Europe.
Yeah,
we
went
went.
to Europe.
We went to France and then to Spain and Italy and Switzerland.
Wow.
And we had a ball. It was
Tell
great.
me more about that because I'm curious about. I mean, your music. What would you call your music? What genre is it?
It's country.
Or is it-
Yeah,
it's country.
You know, it's
so,
new country. You know, a lot of people would call it, but it's country music, and that's what we went over there as a country band.
I am just so curious about this. Are there a lot of country fans?
No, you'd be
There
amazed.
are. It's amazing. I
Really?
mean, they came out of the woodwork. It was really cool, and they were the type of crowds that came to really pay attention and listen, and they were really into the music. And after our gigs, they would come up and be like wanting to like talk and talk about the music and about their musical heroes. And we were swapping stories, and they all spoke English. And because of course. This guy was smart and learned how to speak Spanish before we went. I, on the other hand, did not. So I spoke,
You make it sound like I learned it in a week.
But it was really cool.
Yeah, we got very lucky. We hit some great places, had some great promoters, and we'll be going back.
Very
We'll
good.
be going
Very
back,
good.
yeah.
So Tim, tell me a little bit about. I mean, you guys are going to be finishing the CD soon. So what are you guys going to do with it?
Hopefully a lot. I mean, we'll have to come back in April and finish everything up. And I hope it does really well. I think the material's great. I think the players that we got together to play on it are great. And I expect it to do very well.
Okay, all right, that sounds great. So you're actually going to shop it in Nashville, right?
Well, we'll shop it.
Wherever.
Well, it's not even. Get shopped to whoever. I mean, anybody who's willing to listen to it, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will be given a copy of it. So
Okay.
it's not like that. We're going to go to Nashville and like shop it. It's like here. Do you like this? It's that kind of thing. I mean, it's really it's about the music, and we worked hard on it, and it's not finished, and we have a lot of work to do yet.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be very good.
And how long have you been recording this particular project?
6 days.
6 days.
6 12-hour days.
6 12-hour days.
Oh my God! So you're doing this like start to finish, like
From
in.
start to finish, top to bottom.
We're doing pre-production like we arrange it, we get it how we want it, and then we track the drums. Like it's.
Wow, that's great. That's really cool.
You've been looking in all the wrong places. You never find love looking like that. Bar scenes, broken dreams, and nameless faces. You ain't never gonna find love looking like that. It's been a month and a year since he left you in tears with the kids and a double wide. Without a buck in the bank, you got just him to thank. It's all on you now and you wanna cry. Didn't take long for you to see what lonely can make you do. And you've been looking in all the wrong places. Never find love looking like that. Bar scenes, broken dreams, and nameless faces. You ain't never gonna find love looking like that. Store to one more, keep one eye on the door. Sitting on a bar stool fade. You take another one home, but you wake up alone. Learn your lesson now before it's too late. Didn't take long for you to see what lonely can make you do. And you've been looking in all the wrong places. Never find love looking like that. Bar scenes, broken dreams, and nameless faces. You ain't never gonna find love looking like that. looking in all the wrong places. Never find love looking like that. Bar scenes, broken dreams, and nameless faces. You ain't never gonna find love. You're looking in all the wrong places. Never find love looking like that. Bar scenes, broken dreams, and nameless faces. You ain't never gonna find love looking like that.
episode of Access Central TV.
Right. And if anyone sees Eula, send her my love.
Oh my God, Mikkel.
I love me some Eula.
No one heard you probably fell in love with someone else already. Okay.
Anyways.
I hope that you had a great time. We had a great time.
Always.
And
always.
come back and join us again.
Yes.
Here
On
Access Central TV. Ciao, 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 ciao.
Okay.
Oh.
Next week on Access Central TV, it's the hilarious independent short film Bananas in Bedlam. Director Jonathan O'Byrne's spoof documentary about what happened to Curious George after his childhood stardom.
Childhood played a trick on me, that's all. Just a big joke with me as the punchline.
You won't want to miss Bananas in Bedlam next week, only on Access Central TV.